To you by Circle K. We'll have a ton of prizes. Matitude's going to spin for you. You have to win your way on, though. All the tickets that were for sale went very quickly. WMMS.com has all the info for you. I'll be doing a couple of ticket stops next 2 Saturdays, and you can win them here. Stansbury's got him this week, too. So good luck. 2 tickets for you to join us on the 24th. For caller 10, 216-578-1007 or 800-348-1007.
Alan Cox.
The sort of man we used to describe at school as a complete prick.
The Alan Cox Show.
On 100.7
WMMS.
This Saturday, I'm going to be out at Circle K in Eastlake. If there are more than one Circle K's if there is more than one Circle K's, if there are more than one Circle K's, Circles K, like attorneys general.
You need a new reference point for that. You use the same one every time.
What's that?
But it's
Attorneys general.
It's the only one I need. Why do we need multiple?
I don't know.
Think of another one then.
It's not my job.
You're the one that's criticizing it.
I'm not criticizing it. I'm just saying he uses that reference.
Sisters-in-law.
every time. Sure. There you go.
But I only need one.
But don't use the same one every time.
Why?
Have like 3 that you rotate through.
Rotate? You think people are listening that closely?
Where are you going to be, stupid?
Rotate? What?
Where am I going to
Is it
be?
Circles
Not
K?
you,
Me.
Alan.
Sorry, go ahead.
Wow.
Mary's so used to answering to stupid when you say it.
Main character syndrome.
Oh, no. Circles
Circle
K,
K.
like brothers-in-law. This Saturday, the one on Vine Street in Eastlake. I'll be there from 11 to 1. And then next Saturday, the 17th. The last 2 Saturdays before we set sail, Saturday the 17th, I will be at the Circle K in Fairview Park. That is on Lorraine Road. That is also from 11 to 1. So all of that information, if you want to put it in your Google Maps now and your calendar, is at AlanCoxShow.com. You can still register at the site there to win as well. But we're going out in the Good Time 3. It is all brought to you by Circle K. So you should have that Circle K Inner Circle app on your phone because I know we're going to have special prizes for people who have that. Also, just an administrative note, bring cash with you because we're going to have a lot of different stations where cash will be much more efficient for you. You know, we'll have bars, they'll take your cards and things like that, but there's going to be like, you know, probably beer tubs and stuff or something, I don't know, where cash will kind of work out better for you. So I would just put that little bug in your ear. So Circles K, like brothers-in-law
There you go.
or sisters-in-law or attorneys general. Mary would really like me to have 3 of those. That's the power of 3.
And rotate them.
And rotate them. Well, then, Mary, I'm going to rely on you to keep a grid of which one I use and when.
Okay.
Thank you. Appreciate that. What are the Guardians doing right now? The D-backs have scored again.
5-3.
All right. This says 5-2. 5-3?
I got 5-3.
Bottom of the 8th.
Yep.
Okay. Oh, it's a doubleheader today, isn't it?
Yep. Because they canceled last night's game.
Right.
So they moved last night's game to 4:40 this afternoon.
How late did they go? Because initially they said it when we went off the air, they said it was going to be delayed.
Like an hour and a half.
And then they called it.
Yeah.
Yeah. I figured there was no way they could play that game last night. But they do like to wait until the last minute. So.
They like to try and squeeze them in.
Yeah. So anyway, and then the Guardians will head off to Minnesota to play the Twins on Friday. So the second of 2 this afternoon, 4:40 around there at Progressive Field. They'll go play the Twins. The Cubs are in town next week. They'll play the Brewers. There's still plenty of baseball left to be played in the regular season until the regular season comes to an end at Progressive Field against the Houston Astros on September the 29th. Hey, Charlie.
Hey, Tim. I'm sorry, Alan. How are you?
Good.
Hey, listen, can I ask you a quick question? I was watching Janine Paris French Fry, the spokesperson for the White House yesterday, and she was at the podium, and she was asked about crime. And she said her exact words were, "We inherited a skyrocketing murder rate. That's something that we inherited from the prior administration, from the Trump administration. And working together, we not only turned that around, but we have brought violent crime down to a 50-year low. Guess what she forgot to mention?
First off, I don't know who you're talking about. Did you say Janine Pirro?
Yes, the White House press secretary.
Well, that's not Janine Pirro, Charlie. Janine Pirro is a talking head over on Fox News. That will, if I can determine who you're talking about, I'll know. Okay, so you're talking about Karine St. Pierre or whatever her name is.
Yes, sir. So I think your audience and I think you were all concerned about our safety, whether it's 20 years ago or 50 years
Not
from
me.
now.
Kill me now, Charlie. Kill me now.
Take it.
Come on, Charlie. Come here from Indiana and put me out of my misery with all your dumb
Well, I
talking
want to hear. I
points.
keep giving Charlie a chance, and I'm going to do it. I like to pick his brain. So go
Don't
ahead,
yell.
Charlie.
Don't yell
Okay.
this time.
So here we go.
He comes in. He
So here's
comes
the deal.
in guns. He comes in guns hot. But
We're ready. We're
yeah.
ready.
All right. Go ahead.
Okay, so I know that you guys like to deal in facts. So there's a thing called the Marshall Project. Basically, all states at one time were required by the FBI to report every crime, every major crime. Guess who's not reporting crimes any longer? And this is why she said crime is down 50%.
Russia.
New York.
Bill,
No,
shut
listen,
up.
let me talk. You want an honest conversation? New York is not reporting their murders, their crimes. Los Angeles is not reporting their crimes. 30% of 18,000 law enforcement agencies don't report it. So for her to come out and say crime is down by 50% is a blatant lie. There are over 6,000 police-type departments that don't report to the FBI. So of course
But
it's down by
Charlie,
that.
wait,
People overlook that.
Charlie. If I can interrupt, Charlie, if they're not reporting it, then you don't know that it's not down.
No. Then you go to the website and you look at the states where they list their crims. Listen, we're going to go on for hours. It's a fact.
Oh, boy.
Okay. Next
Okay.
subject I want to talk to you about is okay.
Wait. We didn't even, Charlie. We didn't even finish that. What's the point you're trying to make?
The point is when you come out and you say, listen, the Biden administration, the Kamala Harris administration, you have no idea how hard we're working for you. You, the American people, are safer now than you were when Trump was in office. It's categorically untrue.
It's
They're
not categorically
the
untrue
states
by irrespective of who the president is, Charlie, by just about every metric, violent crime is down.
No, sir.
Yes.
Under the Biden administration, they don't require them to report it. Here, this is from
They
August
didn't
10th,
require the
2023.
reporting, Charlie. They don't require the reporting for a long time. It's voluntary by the federal government.
No.
Yes,
But
it's
aren't you
voluntary.
concerned? Aren't you concerned? Okay. Can we all recognize that compared to every other city in the United States, more than likely, New York, Los Angeles, and Chicago are pretty much the most dangerous when it comes to violent crimes? Can we just agree on that?
No,
Nope.
New Orleans, Detroit, they have higher
Atlanta?
rates. Yeah, Atlanta,
Per
higher
capita,
rates.
Okay, per capita.
You're going
Tuscaloosa.
Yeah, Tuscaloosa, Alabama.
What kind of per capita?
Your audience is listening to this and they're buying into it. Okay, I can't win
No,
with you.
they
I'm not
don't even
gonna
want to
win with
listen to
anything that's
you.
Wait a second,
I'll say
Charlie.
right now. Okay, listen to this. Maryland police agencies, they only report 33% of the time. In New York, I can't convince you. We can go on for hours. You're going to come
So
up with
why are you
with a
calling?
rebuttal for everything that I say.
Charlie, what's the murder rate in Evansville, Indiana?
I don't know.
Should go by
You
one.
aren't even, so you're not even tuned into what's going on in your own backyard. Why are you concerned
You know
about
what,
New
Alan?
York,
I really
Chicago, and
think
Los
that-
Angeles?
Okay, after you win. Alan, you're right. I'm wrong. You win.
No,
Ding,
I
ding,
didn't
ding,
say.
ding, one for Alan. He
I
wins
didn't
that
say
one.
you were
Okay, I
wrong,
want to-
Charlie. I asked why you're not keeping your
Okay.
ear to the ground in your own community.
I know. Okay, so here. Okay, I'll keep my ear to the ground. I need to do better. Okay, there's a senator from Minnesota. Her name is Tina Smith. She's one of Kamala Harris's, I guess, advisors, surrogate, whatever they're called. She was on CNN yesterday with John Acosta, and they were talking about Waltz's background in the National Guard, and it's a disaster. Anyway, then she made a comment. She's like, J.D. Vance, I mean, he never even served. It took Jim Acosta about 10 seconds to say, no. He did serve. If that would have been any other person, they would have put her on hold immediately and said, no, ma'am, you have your facts. Then she goes, oh, I didn't realize that. How can you be a senator from Minnesota and not understand just the basic of J.D. Vance's background? Everybody knows he served. But they put that out there, and she's like, oh, I didn't know that. But anyway, how about those guys that were leading the National Guard under Waltz during the Iraq War when the National Guard, I'm not sure if they're called generals, they personally called up Mr. Waltz and said, hey, guy, we need all your troops to come to Iraq. He goes, I can't do it. I got to drop out. This was relevant 10, 12 years ago because one of the people in his platoon, put this massive silo on the side of a silo saying, Waltz backed out. He wouldn't go. J.D. Vance went. Nobody's talking about that. They're goofing on everybody right now for calling Tim Waltz Tampon Tim. Every woman, every child, there needs to be a tampon dispensary in their locker room, in their break room, in their bathroom. They're goofing on the fact that Tampon Tim wants tampons in the little boys' room. Little boys have an XY chromosome. They cannot have a period. They
Hey,
cannot
can we
menstruate.
stop this? He sucks.
Charlie,
you're so annoying.
I keep trying to give him a chance,
Right,
and
but-
Charlie kind of comes in guns hot and doesn't really know what he's saying or what point he wants to get across. All right, Charlie, thank you, pal. Keep your ear to the ground on what's going on there
It's not.
in Evansville, Indiana. I have a feeling nobody else listens to Charlie, and so he happened to stumble
Right.
upon my show, and I'm such a nice, magnanimous human being that I always want to hear what he's got to say, but
you
it's
are.
melting my brain down. I don't know the point he's trying to get across.
But also, he's not participating in the show. This is not what we're talking about. This is not the topic of the day. This is just him having some, like you said, having no one to talk to. And he's like, I got to call this show because I need a platform to put this stuff out there. And it's just annoying.
Charlie,
I hope you can find some friends. because
don't
you need
hate,
friends.
participate. Send us a picture of your feet, Charlie.
Yeah, let's see what you got. What size shoe do you wear?
Let's do that.
That's the thing about Charlie. I feel like if he would stop focusing so much on this other stuff, that he could probably be a fun guy to hang out with. But he's so just
Well, it sounds
focused
like
on politics that he's
I can't
lost
tell
himself.
But I can't tell what he's focused on, even within the realm of politics. It sounds to me like the only time Charlie turns off Newsmax and Fox News is when he takes a minute to call me. And he's probably still got it on in the background.
See those feet, Chuck.
Send them feet. Evansville, Indiana.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, Sam.
Yes.
What's
this
up?
is Sam.
What's up, Sam?
Sam, where are you from? How many murders there?
That's the crime rate.
Yeah.
Okay. So here's the thing. I'll be honest with you. I'm not trying to get political or anything like that. I just got to say that, what you guys are saying up here is wrong. I'm in the streets of Cleveland. I've been in the streets of Cleveland for like 15 years. And I've seen crime go up. I've seen people struggling. I've seen the public struggle. I've seen pretty much a lot. I've seen a lot of bad stuff. I've also seen a lot of police get killed recently too. So for all
Well, nobody's arguing that,
Sam.
Sam. No, he didn't mention Cleveland. Nobody's arguing the state of Cleveland. He didn't mention Cleveland.
They're not. Okay.
Yeah, he
I
wasn't-
didn't
yeah,
hear that part.
that's
so I'm
what we're
wrong. I
talking
didn't
about.
even hear the Cleveland.
He's
I
just
thought you
talking
were
about random
Cleveland.
stuff.
No, okay. Thank you, Sam.
Yeah.
See, people come in half-cocked, and then they get a full head of steam, and then,
Also, I'll go back to Cleveland 20 years ago. Real bad.
well, who wants to do that?
I don't know. I don't. You want to talk about the football stadium? They released the Guardian.
I did see that.
The Browns released their plans for Brook Park.
So they send a letter out to the season ticket holders. Justin Bibb says that irrespective of what the Browns plan, and of course he has to say that because they're trying to get this massive lakefront redevelopment project off the ground, and so he kind of put an olive branch out to the Haslams and whatever. But that make no mistake, this lakefront renovation was developed with Brown Stadium in mind. If they pivot to going out to Brook Park, that's a whole other thing. They sent a letter to the season ticket holders. You might be one. You might have seen this. The Browns unveiled their plan for a $3.8 billion domed complex out there in Brook Park, which just got, I hope it's hurricane-proof because if you've been out Brook Parkway today, 176 acres of land off Snow and Engle Roads there in Brook Park, adjacent to the airport. The Haslam Sports Group secured a purchase option agreement back in February, and then they sent out this letter to. So this goes beyond kind of gamesmanship between city and owners. This is along the lines of, this is what we want to do, and this is probably what we're going to do.
Can I suggest my idea?
Please.
I would like a flying, floating stadium that hovers over Lake Erie.
A flying, floating stadium.
Yes.
All right.
It flies and floats.
It flies and floats.
So sometimes it floats on the water. Sometimes
Well, no, it's
hovers
floating in
above
the
it.
air. It's always in the air.
Floating in the
Yeah.
air.
But
I
it's,
thought you meant
it's flying, floating.
some games were played on the water.
Well,
Some
if that's
games were played
advantageous to us, yes, I think that should be.
with the huge Lake Erie waves that you claim, that could be problematic.
Well, she's really stuck on those
Only-
crashing versus lapping waves, isn't she?
He
Only-
tagged me in it
Crashing
yesterday.
versus lapping.
It was pretty crazy.
They weren't. There weren't even whitecaps, and he tagged me. He was like, "Is this enough waves for you?" I was
You
like,
could hear
"No."
it. You could hear you could hear waves crashing.
Oh, he sent you video from his apartment?
I said it. I
Yeah.
put it on my Instagram
Hey,
story.
are these waves sandwich worthy?
They're pretty big. And I was driving by the beach. Pretty good waves. For a
Yeah.
lake,
Yeah.
pretty good.
Well, I think Mary was.
I mean, I love Cleveland, so I'm going to, go to bat
I think Mary was.
for Lake Erie, whereas Mary's like, "Ugh, I hate it."
Well, but her getting in the violence of the Atlantic waves, that probably made her pretty anxious. I got to understand why that might stick with you. But it also took her sandwich.
I'd also be mad if any body of water took my sandwich, so I get that. But a floating, flying
Stadium.
like an island that's in the air, suspended by
Like the Cloud City of Bespin?
boom.
Lando Calrissian, general manager of the Cleveland Browns. If you're watching the live stream, I'll show you. They put the artist's rendition.
Now imagine that
on
floating
social
above
media.
Lake Erie.
Right, this thing out there. And of course, in addition to the stadium, it would be conceivably be, restaurants and multi-purpose
Wait,
and blah, blah,
How
blah.
many
And I'm sure
murders
there'll
are
be,
there in Brook Park?
Not that many.
I'm sure there'll be condos there and all kinds of stuff. So
Lots of strip clubs. Keep
my
people
favorite part, by the way, of any time they do an artist rendering are when they put the people in there, what it will look like, right?
Yeah.
Nobody drunk, anything like that. Nobody with, dumb face paint or anything. Just all people.
Put the guy that falls asleep at games in there.
Yeah.
Wait a
please.
minute though. Does the roof move?
It would be a retractable dome, I believe.
Retractable
yes.
dome. Okay. I love that. We need a dome.
So
I
just
know I'm all for the dome. I just want it to be in Cleveland, or preferably floating above Lake Erie.
yeah, Justin Bibb.
On a windy day, it's a little bit in Canada. Just a tip.
Justin Bibb gave the city of Cleveland until Monday to respond to his plan. He had
Ooh, an ultimatum.
proposed $461 million in financing over 30 years. But I think that would still put it under I think the argument is whether or not the Haslams will have complete control or whether the city of Cleveland would. And obviously, if you own a team, you want as much control over the operations as you possibly can have.
But you don't want to pay for things.
Correct.
So if the Haslams do this in Brook Park, who's paying for that? Are they paying for all of it, or are they making Brook Park pay for it?
Oh, I'm sure that they're going to want.
Ballpark.
They're not going to. It's not like the Haslams are going to kick out, a ton of it. The Browns have pledged half towards the construction of the dome. So that would be Haslam and Company, $1.2 billion, which means that the other half would come from us. Although they say it would come from it would come from ticket revenues or something. It wouldn't be from raised taxes, I think. But that's always a little bit. There's always a little bit of bait and switch involved in these kinds of things too. Sources say that the existing stadium would not survive the proposed 30-year lease extension that Justin Bibb is proposing, and that the overhaul would probably only extend the life of the stadium for about 15 or 20 years.
Floating flying stadium will survive it all.
Yeah, but you have to, the law of unintended consequences. You have a floating stadium. It's going to be subject to it's right by the airport. You want a floating flying stadium adjacent to, right in the flight path of Hopkins? They're having a hard enough time getting flights out of there.
Well, first of all,
they're canceling routes left and right.
This is going to be...
It's going to end up becoming one giant Greyhound station.
By Burke. And they're like, oh, we need Burke. We'll need Burke even more so everybody can get to the stadium.
They should pave over Burke like tomorrow.
And make it what?
Lakefront property. Develop the lakefront. Stop it.
A nice restaurant.
Do what Daly did with Miggs Field 30 years ago. Middle of the night, just pave it over. So that's what they're doing now. If you're a Brown season ticket holder, they send this letter out with the artist's rendering, and this is what we want to do, and this is what we would like to do. And again, I don't know if this is still a game of chicken between the city of Cleveland and the Haslam Group, but
can I throw out a conspiracy theory?
Does it involve a flying floating stadium,
No,
or
that was
this is
it.
a self-contained?
That was me being a little stinker.
Yeah.
Here's what I think is going to happen.
Yeah.
The Haslams will. They're going to look for a place that's going to pay as much as they can, and the city in Ohio that is growing the fastest is Columbus, and I think their overall plan is to try and eventually move the Browns to Columbus.
Oh, I see. At Crew Stadium?
It's going to be a 20, 30-year plan, but I think that's what's going to happen.
Mm-hmm. Well, irrespective of what happens with Jimmy Haslam at the helm, it's going to be, Mary, a battle between the has and the has-nots.
Okay.
Like attorneys general.
This has been an this segment is a lot. Between Charlie and
How many
46
murders?
Yes!
In
What,
your
you want
apartment.
less? I got to pack as much as I can in, baby.
This is a big segment.
This is a
for me.
train going in one direction. You better get on it.
You're the one that wants guys like that to be able to talk.
I'm just listening. No. Charlie has proven time and time again he's just calling and talking fast to sound like he's making a point. If he could slow it down and maybe make one point and have a conversation, then yes, I think he should have a chance to talk. But he's very clearly not interested in that. What else did you say?
It's hard to say. There's
That
so
I'm
much
gonna
stuff
be
packed in.
hilarities this Sunday.
I hate you, dude. I hate you so
It's where he stands facing the wall. The crowd talks to him from behind his back.
Close enough.
Yeah.
BillSquire.com.
Yeah. Okay, listen, I've got to take a break here. Hey, want to go see King Diamond? Oh, my God. He hasn't been here since before COVID. I think 2019 was the last